September 21st committee meeting for the Festival of Chimes and Lights. Uh-oh, just a second. My screen just went crazy. All right. We're just going to get started once again on the discussion of what we're going to have and not. I'm just hearing from Kathy Garcia, who's at the Port of Bremerton. And last time we talked a bit about what the Port of Bremerton was going to be doing, and they had agreed again to put on a beautiful display with maybe the sleigh and all those lights, which really made a huge difference for our waterfront. And so Kathy was just talking a minute ago, and most of us heard, but Kathy, go ahead again with just a little bit of an overview on maybe the idea of the virtual lighted boats. Because what I'm going to be doing is, Janine and I are going to be working on a flyer that's going to be going in the utility billing that lets people know what to expect. Hey, Sandy, welcome. Sandy, can you turn off your mute? Or, oh, there, good. So you can participate? Great, thank you. So we just got started, Sandy, and we're just kind of talking to Kathy Garcia about the possibility of something that sounds like a virtual lighted boat parade. So
yeah,
go ahead, Kathy, with whatever
sure.
you know.
So I was talking to Rhonda. She's the Commodore for the Sinclair Inlet Yacht Club.
Okay.
And I had heard from some of their members that they weren't going to be doing anything. So I reached out to her and she said, oh, no. She goes, I came up with this idea to do a virtual boat parade. And so she's been putting her ideas together. I think she was thinking about inviting people to light their boats and then share videos and share different things. But I really wanted her to be able to come to this meeting and bring her ideas, because that's really all she kind of told me. But they don't want to let this year go by and not do anything, because they've done it for so long and so many years. So it looks like they are going to put a virtual show of some sort together, which I think that's exciting. I'm excited for it.
That's cool. So Janine, just back to you with, when we do virtual anythings on the day of the festival, are we going to be doing that on Facebook, or are we doing that through our website? How are we going to be doing that? Do you know yet?
I don't, but I will find out.
Okay, because that's another thing we're going to need to put on the flyer, which we have to get going, and the deadline is at the end of next week to get what will be part of festival this year and what won't. I think it's really important to let people know what we are and are not having, so there's no confusion. So Kathy, with if Rhonda could get a hold of us, or we could get a contact for her, what we want to do is let her know that we will need to put this in. We'll need to have this information to get moving forward. Because I hate to.
Absolutely. You want me? I'll email you her contact information.
Okay, great. That's perfect. All right. So let's see who else will have information that we're needing. Chris, do you have anything to share about PABSA or any other events that may be taking place? Have you heard anything new?
We are going to do something with the chamber.
Yeah.
Like Home for the Holiday, Holiday on the Bay, Home for the Holiday, or something over that whole period.
Okay.
It'll be more like a handout of everything that's happening over the course of time. So there's not any real event right now planned.
Okay.
We'll probably do something for Shop Small, but that's earlier.
Right.
So we don't really have a definitive event scheduled for that day. That doesn't mean that we won't do some sort of stealthy scavenger hunt or something like that downtown.
Right.
Corinne's working on it, and she can't unmute her phone. That's her there in your.
Oh, is this Corinne right here?
Corinne right there, but she can't unmute her phone.
Oh.
How to unmute it. So we'll do either the coloring page or the rock coloring painting, like we talked about last time. But nothing definitive yet. But if your deadline's next week, then I'll be sure to let you know.
Well, what the deadline is for, Chris and Corrine, I can practically almost see you nodding your head. I wish we could, I wish we could see you. What I'm thinking we really need to get out, the information we need to get out is what is going to be a part of the festival this year and what isn't, especially making it clear that there won't be public gatherings, because that's what we're trying to avoid. And I know that's kind of what it's sounding like for you guys too. I mean, you're not having an actual event, but you are showcasing the businesses and wanting people to come down individually to see what's going on. And that's what we all are looking for. People driving through, stopping at the shops, shopping for their Christmas events. But we can't have an official gathering of any sort. So in order to avoid confusion by calling it a festival of chimes and lights, that I thought we really needed to get the information out of what the event is and what it isn't. You know, what I have so far with what we are having is a decorated tree contest. Janine, are we still at 16 on that? Has that changed?
I'm sorry?
The numbers sold for the trees, the
We're
decorated
about 17.
17, okay, so we still have more to sell. We'll still have the City Hall Christmas tree and all of the lighting and displays that are going to take place. We're going to try to encourage businesses and homes to do more lighting than ever. We're going to have holiday music playing from the clock tower. And it's still up in the air about the holiday pet costume contest. It seemed like a good idea, and if we can pull it off, we just have to work out the logistics of feedback. So for Janine, we'll be finding out what that's going to look like. How we're going to do that is it's going to be interactive through Facebook or the city website. I'm just not sure.
Yep, I'll find out, definitely.
Okay. We came up with a theme this last time. Sandy really dug into it. Everybody had ideas. Lights of joy and rocks of cheer. What we're doing is incurring lots and lots of lighting. And then the rock idea is just, you know, it's been done before, but it's something that's so wonderful. Having volunteer groups paint rocks with messages and Christmas greetings and get them hidden in designated areas around the city. I just found a rock, was it yesterday? In Hansville, of all places, right? And I said, oh, cool, because it's just always such a fun thing to find one of those things. So we'll get going on that. What I'm saying we won't have is, again, the public gatherings, including the tree lighting, will not happen with the public. We won't have Santa, the marching band, the choirs, the pet parade we won't have. Now, I had down lighted boats, but if there's going to be some kind of virtual lighted boat thing, then I'm going to be careful about putting that in there.
We'll find out for sure before your deadline.
Okay. Has anybody here heard anything more about the charity 5K run? Is that off? Is that canceled for sure?
This is Loretta. I'm here.
Oh, hi.
And the city told me not to look for any news on that, on whether they'd let me do it or not until October. So I don't know how I can make a deadline for next week. If they'd give us permission, we would do something, but you know, it doesn't sound like groups are being allowed at all. So I'm not holding out much hope, I'm afraid.
So Loretta, would you do anything virtually? I've heard of some charity runs lately that's been done virtually. Is that something that would be a go or no?
My husband is a real runner.
Yes.
And a virtual race is not a real race. And so
Yeah.
there's no, No, I don't think
Okay.
we would.
Yep. Do you know who's making that decision? Is that coming through what department, Loretta?
By race, well, it's the city that has to give us the permission to close the roads, and I mean, it's got to go through all of that permission. What's the gal's name that I'm working with?
Brandy.
Oh, it's Brandy. Okay, Brandy's.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Brandy actually spoke to me about this, and she said just because of the governor's orders, for one, we're not reviewing the applications until October, and then the city will not be closing roads. So if the run is happening, they would have to contact WashDOT themselves. The city will not do it.
Okay, it was actually Michelle Wisenot that I was working with, but she gave me Brandy's card.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandy's the one who's working on it now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know. I'm sorry?
Is Michelle gone? Should I
No,
scratch her
she's
off
just,
my
she's working with HR right now.
She switched positions.
Okay. I'll put a star next to Brandy's name then.
Okay, Loretta, so that's sounding a bit different. So if the city isn't going to be closing any streets or anything,
We can't. Yeah.
That's probably making it gets more and more
That's
difficult.
a no-go. Yeah, that would be a no-go. As far as the virtual run, I hadn't actually seriously considered a virtual run, but because it's a fundraiser for Helpline, maybe we could do something like that. Wasn't at all what we'd planned.
Yeah.
Let me talk to a few people and I'll get back to you by next week.
Okay. What I can just tell you, in our Rotary Club, there was an Alzheimer's fundraiser recently, and it was a run, and people ran in all different places, not together. And
yeah, that's what a virtual run is. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a 5K somewhere.
Right. But actually, and Corrine, knows all about this. They were generous donors, but they did very well with donors. And so as far as maybe doing this even virtually, it might be successful for the helpline. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, it's tricky because it isn't a run. It isn't a race, is what it is.
Right, and you take on other. I don't have to rent a Sandy can, but I have to mail out T-shirts or medals or some kind of memento. So you take on different costs. I haven't looked at that at all, but we'll make a decision this next week.
Okay.
I'll talk I have a meeting with the Helpline board tomorrow, and we'll talk about it then. And, we could certainly do something virtually, but we haven't before, but that doesn't mean we, can't do it this year, because 2020 is a unicorn. That's for sure.
We used to like unicorns,
Right?
Oh, okay. Well, good. Yeah, this is what we do is we're trying to find out what we're going to be having. Two other things that we aren't going to be having for sure would be the movies and the hay rides, of course. So I'm just, again, kind of trying to make it clear to the public, because I think this is quite confusing going into an event that is so very different than what we've had in the past. I mean, we're actually having something and yet we're not having something. So
Not easy.
The public market will be doing its gingerbread contest.
there you go. Okay. So that will be on.
Yep.
So the gingerbread house, right?
Right.
Or it doesn't have to be a house, but whatever. Okay.
Some kind of structure.
Similar to what's taken place in the past. Does that go through the whole month of December, Chris?
It goes right up until usually the Don't Panic Wrapping Day.
Okay. That's like around the
Thanksgiving something?
further into December a bit.
Yeah.
Because that's when everybody, if you're not supposed to panic, but they are. Okay.
Not supposed to panic. But we'll probably do more. We'll do some additional Christmas wrapping probably too. You know, make sure that everybody's got paper that they can wrap presents with.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so anybody else have anything else? Sharon, there's nothing happening. Oh, well, tell me about royalty.
Royalty, we did the rock painting. Matt did come out and do a video, and I just got it today, just forwarded it to Janine in case she
Okay.
wants to flip it up and show it.
Cool.
But I had it rocks of love in my brain and not rocks of cheer. So the video says rocks of love.
Okay.
But I don't know if Janine can pull that up and show it on the screen or not. I don't know how long it is, but Matt said if there's any issues, let him know and he'll see what he can do.
Okay. Janine, are you able to?
I will, let me see if I'm able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see here.
So the royalty are willing to be wherever you want them to be on that day if there's something wonderful that we can create for them to do.
Did it share?
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to. If we just press play on that.
Looks like it's about 7 minutes.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Don't have any audio on it.
Janine, is it possible to turn that up somehow?
It's fully up on my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh.
Wonder how we get better sound.
Oh, this is cool.
I think that little girl's really cute too.
Yeah, and Miss Veronica, don't know who she belongs to.
I don't either.
And I did start the Christmas rock page on the city's website because I needed that to send the link to Matt. So I did that today. Right now, there's nothing on it quite yet.
Okay.
But, I do have that up.
So
Does
Janine, will this video go on there too then?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, my driveway works out really well for spreading these tables out.
Oh, Sharon, this is wonderful.
My guess is that most people are going to their right. That's right. Now let's go ahead and move over here to the next table.
Matt was an excellent MC, let me tell you. He did a really great job.
Oh, this is cool.
We just bought them all new aprons so they didn't get their new shirts dirty.
Oh, wow.
They
Oh,
love
this-
painting. They love painting rocks.
It's just too bad we can't hear the sound because Matt just did an absolutely wonderful job MCing.
He's doing yeah, I can hear it and it's really, really well done. Did you want me to stop sharing it for now?
Yeah, I think probably so. We can all watch it and go there individually so we can hear what's being said too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharon, thank you for taking care of that. That's a wonderful thing to have, and we'll get started with that.
Well, one thing though, Cindy, that I did mention into it, Matt kind of interviewed me at the end of it, and I did call it Rocks of Love and not Rocks of Cheer. So that was my error in not knowing the last word there. And so we did talk about how we were going to get information out to the public, notify all the clubs, the churches, and there would be correspondence about it, how to do the rocks, and check the city website for locations of where they will be distributed. And I said all of that is in the works basically, but check the city website.
Awesome.
Okay.
I don't think it'll matter at the end what you said. They're looking at the content and they're looking at the content anyway. It's a
Okay,
good video.
good.
Yeah, it doesn't
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you have to love it in order to be cheerful anyway, so that all works. So the thing is, what we probably need to do is, I think we should work on very quickly some guidelines. Corrine probably knows a lot about it. Chris, maybe you do too. When you're working with these rock projects, what are good guidelines to work with? We talked about having designated places to hide them. And those are going to be things like parks, city right away, safe places like that. We're not going to put them in the middle of highways or any weird thing. But we'll get that list up. And another thing is if people want to have a prize connected with finding a certain rock, we were talking about having people send pictures in with their rock, either the ones they've created or the ones they found. We can put them in two different areas, but you know, like I'm thinking there'll be probably maybe a prize going along with the finding of, say, the mayor's rock. You know, I don't know how many rocks he'll paint, but we can challenge him to paint quite a few, but there should be maybe one of his rocks that has a nice prize associated with it. And I was thinking the police chief, you know, some of the celebrities in our town, that they can paint their rocks and something goes along with it. Now, how would we get that information out without it being overwhelming with, you can't number every single rock kind of thing, or how do we do that? Do you guys have any suggestions on that?
I will check with Karina. I would think we can just number the rocks that are going to have prizes.
Right.
Okay.
So
Number the rocks that are going to have prizes. Okay.
And that's what I alluded to on the video, was that each organization would determine how many prizes they want to donate, and you would number that rock, take a picture of it, and send it into the city so we can tie the winner who finds the rock to the owner of the rock.
Okay. So only the rocks that are going to have prizes associated with them will have numbers on them. And they probably are going to need some sort of, you know, little symbol or something about where it came from too.
Ours would be like 1-FOF.
I have a question. So, couldn't, I see the numbering, that could be a nightmare too, but couldn't, like, say couldn't you just say there would be special rocks, and like if the mayor did a rock, on the other side of it, it would say Mayor's Rock, and then they'd take a picture, I found the Mayor's Rock, or Fathom's a Fun Rock, I found the FOF Rock, or instead of having numbers, or why do you need numbers?
Sandy, because not every rock is going to have a prize connected with it. And I imagine Fathom's having hundreds of rocks perhaps, and only maybe 1 or 3 will have prizes. So how?
Well,
so
I was thinking, but Sharon, the Fathoms, like the girls, the rocks they painted, did they put Fathoms on every rock or just painted the rock?
Right now, we've only painted because we wanted to get the video done on the first night. So we're going to have a couple more sessions back in October, whether we do my garage or back outside again. So we're not done painting.
Okay. Okay, I was just thinking, like, say if Seroptimus had a rock, we would just have someone paint a rock and that would be the prize rock, or rocks, whatever we do. And then, then
it's got to be something.
It would say on the back, it could say Seroptimus prize rock, and then they could take a picture of that and send it in.
Yeah, if you want to just do that one rock, yeah, you can.
Well, is Fathoms doing, like, are the organizations, like, are they doing multiple prize rocks?
However many, we kind of talked about however many an organization wanted to give with prizes.
Okay.
So you want to say Seroptimus wants to do 5. They give out 5 Christmas baskets, or they give a
Gotcha. Okay.
gift certificate or something. However many you want to give out, I think we'll accept it. Right, Cindy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what I don't want is confusion. I don't want
Right.
people finding rocks and thinking that every rock is going to have some kind of prize.
No. Uh-uh.
Right.
So
What if
that's
you wrote winner on the back of it, and then they'd know they won something? They'd feel
Oh.
special, like instead of a number, right, winner, or, you know, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
How
That's what-
about having a website link? Like if you've got a website, you could have, you know, Port Orchard rocks and rock number 1 and 2 and whatever would have that website reference on it, and they could look up and see what, you know, if they got a numbered rock, it would have the website and they could look it up that way. It'd be right on the rock.
the problem is we only
But-
have 2 months left. And it's just the organizational aspect of it that we may not have. So if we've got these groups out there painting rocks, we may not actually have the bandwidth to find out what their prizes are or what rocks they are by the time we post everything. I can kind of see a train wreck down the way if we make it too complicated, because the more stuff we have online, stuff gets busy. If we're, you know, it's a crazy year. We don't know if people are going to be well, and so I
It
think
could just be a link.
simple,
It could just-
really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like the winner. It's kind of like kids at an Easter egg hunt when they pick up a certain egg and it goes, winner, you know. That kind of has a cool impact.
Exciting.
Yeah, I
Writing
think
impact.
I like the idea of, I think the winner idea is probably a good one. And you know, we're probably going to have to put some kind of liability disclaimer on there. The city can't be responsible if the club doesn't deliver the right kind of prize or something, you know.
Can I suggest, or not suggest,
Yeah,
but point
yeah.
out a potential problem?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think the organizations need to you can't have, there's going to be kids that are going to be adding their rocks to it and maybe creating
Oh.
prize rocks. I don't
Oh.
mean that we would have very many, because let's face it, we've got the
Yeah.
best kids here, but there are some that could. So you gotta have, you don't want to be bombarded with all these kids that, oh, let me go paint a rock, winner, I'm going to go get something, you
Yeah.
know?
that's a good
Well,
point. Yeah.
Originally, we did talk about each organization would take a picture of their rock that they're giving out as a prize and send it in to Janine so that she knows that when that kid posts that picture of that winning rock, she can match it up.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
You know what?
So, and we did talk about it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, Janine, I think that is going to have to happen, don't you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Rita, that's
And
such a good point.
Yeah.
And we do have the best kids on the planet, but
Of course.
Right. You want to give
They're
everybody
very
the benefit of
creative,
the
too.
doubt, however.
They're very creative. I think
Very.
that's a great idea. Like for Seroptimus, we could go sharing like Sippo prize rock or Sippo prize winner or something like Seroptimus prize winner, obviously. 'Cause
SIPO winner number 1, SIPO winner number 2, if you're giving out 2 prizes.
Mhm.
That's a pretty big,
okay,
What was that?
all right.
that's a
But
pretty,
it's a long name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that actually works.
Or SIPO
Um,
prize 1, SIPO prize 2 instead of winner. It's a little bit shorter.
Prize.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe not even put prize on it, just put a code word pertaining to them, or, you know, and
Yeah.
if you happen to find an interesting word on the back, maybe check with the city of Port Orchard's, you know, contact or the Facebook page or wherever.
Well, if we end up with a couple thousand rocks, I'm not
gosh.
sure that might be a lot of.
Yeah, maybe biting off a little bit too much.
Well, I think just, again, as simple as possible, but not misleading. I think that's what we're after. Simple, fun, and yeah, if Janine does have the picture, the photo of the winning rocks done by the various clubs, then the clubs can just keep making them and hiding them, and it won't even matter. It's
Well,
only
if every
those-
rock is, if they number each one for that they have for their organization, maybe the first 5 have prizes. That would be up to the organization too.
Right, right.
They could
Yeah.
continue putting numbers on them, but that doesn't mean, not just a number means you have to be in the ones that the organizations consider that special number.
Right. Well, I think
The other
just-
question that Matt did ask me, and I wasn't quite sure what to answer him about, was, are we going to have this simply just one day? Is it going to run through the month of December? How long are they going to be able to find rocks? Because that
all
needs to
through
be somewhere.
December.
Okay, that needs to be in the literature that we develop.
It does, and that's part of what we need for the guidelines is, I think, okay, you guys, so do you think then that we should have people doing the rock distribution basically the same way, the same amount of time when the trees are being decorated? So, in November,
I think that ties it together nicely.
yeah. And then after that, let them just keep finding them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long it takes for them to find them. Even if they find something in March, who cares? But we should have a prize pickup deadline, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, because otherwise they don't pick them up.
Yeah, we
Right.
had suggested that maybe the pickup location could be at the market.
Well, I don't want to commit to any one place because it's got to be something. Yeah, that is a good point, though. We've got to figure out where they can pick up their prizes. Okay, so the market has volunteered to be a spot. Are they open 7 days a week? I don't know.
Yes. But they haven't actually volunteered. That was Sharon volunteering.
That was me volunteering them.
Oh.
Just slap my hand. Just slap my hand.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, so I have a question on the rock. Are we going to tell people that they can keep the rocks, but what if they want to return them? How do we do that?
They keep them.
Just keep them?
Or hide them again.
Okay.
Hide them for someone else to find. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's
It'll probably be the pickup site for prizes.
Maybe they found one they don't like and they want to hide it again and go find one they do like.
Right.
It's their prerogative.
Yeah. Chris, what did you say about the prize pickup thing?
Corrine says that the market will happily be the prize designated pickup place.
Okay, we'll
Thank
have
you,
to see.
Corrine.
Yeah, we'll have to see too if how clubs want to do all that. I don't know. Who knows? What if it's a school? What if it's a? Anyway.
Well,
That's
and
something
Matt even asked me during the interview on the video, well, what about if someone individual wants to do it? I said, fine, the more the merrier. They just need to get the literature and go by the guidelines that we have.
Right. See how complicated these things get? It's supposed to be so simple.
Well, if you decided on the number of prizes and split up the numbers among the groups and let them put those particular numbers on whatever 5 rocks they're going to give prizes for. So
Right.
you get 100 prizes.
Right.
And everybody does, 1 through 5, 6 through 10, however many prizes they're going to give. And then however many other rocks and the rocks without prizes don't have numbers on them. So if you find a rock with a number, Janine's got a picture of it. She can verify that is in fact the correct rock for its number. And
they need to have the number and the organization.
Yeah.
And the rest of the rocks should not be numbered. That will keep those separate. So those are the prize winners. And if people put numbers on them, now I can foresee if individuals, it's the prize thing that's starting to get a little bit complicated. I don't know that everyone's going to run and want to take their prize someplace. I don't know how we're going to do that exactly. I mean, I see the downtown organizations having no problem running something over to the market.
I would like to just think that if someone has a rock, it's number 2, it says Fathoms of Fun. Janine knows that's us. She can hand out my phone number. They call me. We make a connection point and deliver it.
I think so. I like that.
And if the deliverance of the connection point is at the market, I take it to the market on an X day at an X time that they work with me and they come down and get it.
Right. Now, here's the thing. I think that individuals, if for some reason they're going to be offering prizes, I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable with this, with individuals offering prizes. Because there's no way of screening. And what happens if we get somebody who wants to lure somebody
point.
to their home with a prize, and we don't want to be a part of that.
No, we don't. We don't.
So and plus, how are we going to monitor that it's safe, you guys? Let's just say,
How about in our guidelines, we put approval or acknowledgement from the organization necessary for prize for claiming. Well, boy, it does open up a whole new can of worms.
yeah. Okay, I think only individuals cannot offer prizes. Individuals can paint rocks and hide them, but they cannot offer prizes.
Yeah.
Only nonprofits or whatever, only organizations, established organizations can offer prizes. You know what?
Legal organized, yeah.
Okay, so now we're to the point of, on the city website is a list of organizations that will be offering prizes. That's the only way to keep it safe.
Yeah.
But other
What if the organizations all gave their prizes to the city and they only had to get picked up in one place? They didn't go to the individual organizations. They're just, like if Seroptimus is going to have a prize, they give it to the city and then the city puts them all in one place rather than them having to go to individuals.
Yeah, the city's closed to the public.
Well, I mean, in theory, the city, but they still go to the market, but one person is gathering them rather than somebody having to go to different places to get a prize, different organizations.
See, that works for all the people who are downtown really well, but it's just like what if you get a school class involved and they're painting rocks and the teacher is handling that? Except they wouldn't be offering prizes.
No.
No, they wouldn't.
Not if you're going to keep it to organizations.
Right.
And are you thinking, Cindy, that is there already a list? Or are you thinking to make a list? These organizations will be giving prizes.
We're going to have to make a list.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see, okay, Fathoms, POBSA, whatever. And I am volunteering the mayor, right? But, I could see, I think I'm just trying to sort this out. What I don't want is to have, the public can paint rocks and hide them. What we don't want to have happen is for somebody to lure somebody to their home under the guise that there's a prize and then have trouble.
Yeah.
So the organizations and then are the merchants then the merchants could offer a prize because they go to the merchant, right? Or no? Is that what you have planned?
We're all figuring this out, you guys.
Okay. Say if Josephine's was offering a prize or Gigi's or somebody downtown, then if I found that rock, then I would go to Josephine's to get the prize. I'd take, right?
Okay, what you're saying though, Sandy, is if Fathoms is painting the rock with a number, Josephine's has agreed to give me this item for rock number 1 for Fathoms.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
That
Okay.
would work that way.
Okay. I'll hit Josephine's up for Seroptimus and she's our member now.
Hey, Chris.
Okay.
Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
I think you're making it more complicated than it needs to be. I don't think people need to know necessarily what specific organizations are.
Oh, okay.
I think you need you can certainly put the organization on the back so that it's easier to figure out that it's the correct one. But really, I think you're just needing numbered rocks that people can find. They don't care who's going to give them a prize. They just need to know where to go to pick it up.
Exactly. I agree.
But that, yeah, yeah, that's the simplest way.
You can certainly say, thanks to all these organizations who are giving us these great prizes.
Unless, Rita, were you the one who said, what about kids putting numbers on? Maybe that's not a problem. Yeah,
Well,
we
yeah,
want
it could
to
be.
keep it simple. I agree, Christine. We want to keep it simple.
Put the pictures of the, if you want, the picture of the winning rocks. This is the rock you're looking for. You know, and it will have a number on the back of it. So then you'd have to have a kid that wants to both paint the rock and the number. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen a lot.
No, but you know,
No.
it's all the in-between stuff that makes these things not want to happen again. You know what I mean? we did think it would be all so simple, and maybe it's the prize aspect that's really causing this to be complicated. Perhaps we don't get prizes. Maybe the prize is just getting the rock.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the
think that
prize,
takes-
not giving a prize eliminates a lot of labor.
Yeah, it does.
And if an organization wants really badly to give a prize, they
Yeah.
can put their own phone number on that rock. If they
Yeah.
want to receive the call and reward the prize, if that's
Yeah,
what they
but
choose.
then we could get into the.
Weird stuff again.
Well, then,
Yeah, I think we either do it or don't. And kids have fun with just those rocks.
they don't need the prizes to search
Okay.
the
They
rock.
love the rocks.
They do.
We've just talked ourselves into getting rid of the prizes.
We just did the donut all the way around.
You know what? If we had more time, and if we had some sort of reader board or something where we could just list all of this and we wouldn't overwhelm staff, and we just don't know what's 2 months down the road is going to
Yeah.
look like for our city, for any of us. This is supposed to bring a bit of cheer, not make us go crazy. So I think we get rid of the prizes, and all of a sudden it goes back to being fun again.
Then we need to edit the last part of video out. I need to have Matt eliminate that because it talks about prizes.
Okay, Sharon, would that be hard to do you think?
I don't know, that's a Matt thing.
Or
I wouldn't think
It would-
if just cutting a segment out would be, I mean,
You
I'm
know
not
what?
going to say I know
You
what
can
I'm
actually-
doing,
You could actually cut it out and then you could make a new ending. It's easy to do for video people. I mean, for tech people.
Chris, what were you going to say?
Not hard to do.
Okay, you know what? I think that's what we do, Sharon. We edit it. If you guys want to edit it first, try hand at that, Matt or you. Otherwise, Chris probably can handle it, or Janine, or whatever. But you know what? I really do believe that getting rid of the prizes takes care of a multitude of
It
problems.
does eliminate a lot of labor.
And you know what? I think the
Especially Janine.
prizes in the little rock. I mean, I jump for joy just getting that little rock. So we'll keep it simple. Yeah, we just don't want trouble, right? Okay. All right. So we took care of that. So basically then it's that we will have the rocks starting to be hit at the same time that people start decorating the trees downtown. And I believe, Janine, is that November 4th? Can you look at our list? I think that's what we said, that we were going to be, was it November 4th through the 25th?
Let's see, I'm pulling up the application. November 7th through the 24th. No, I'm sorry. City will place trees the 2nd through the 6th, and the decorating is the 7th through the 24th.
Okay, everybody, how about that? So that corresponds with what we're already doing with the trees. People can hide their rocks then. They can be making them all the way up until that time, and they're left out there for people to find forever. And it still doesn't matter. When they find their rock, they can still take a picture of themselves with their rock, and we'll get it on some kind of page on the website or Facebook.
Probably
Whatever.
our website. Probably our website. And then
Website?
I can and then I can do like little screenshots on Facebook, and for more pictures, visit our website and then direct them back to our site.
Okay, and let's encourage that even individuals or organizations who are painting these to send in photos of the process. Maybe some of the final product. Oh, Sharon, there's some cute photos right in there with royalty painting, it would be fun to just have photos, a couple of photos that go along with that, to see the royalty painting, anybody painting them, whatever. I think that would be really fun.
Are we
People love this.
Are we still identifying the geographical areas that we want them to put them in?
Yes,
So we need to identify that.
I think that's wise. And we talked about parks, right-of-ways, places like that. Safe places, probably more city places,
Yeah.
rather than, I think we should stay away from schools. Yeah, places that aren't too terribly isolated. We'll come up with a list and get that out. If you have ideas, if you're around town, I think we'll look at city parks mostly and right away. So, you know, walking up and down the streets, you know, by the curbs or whatever, in the little trees along there, that's probably all pretty safe. We'll stay away from real isolated places. Like I would say no to Paul Powers Park. I think
To
that
where,
that's kind of
to where, Cindy?
Paul Powers Park.
Oh, is that the dog park?
No, it's a park
It's a
kind of,
little-
it's over off of Sydney, and it's kind of tucked away.
Oh,
By that, you know, I'm just thinking we're not going to have a lot of light.
yeah.
So we'll be wise in having them be a little more wide open places. So we don't have kids, anybody alone in dark
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
That's all.
Smart.
We just think safety, you know, it's going to be raining, it's going to be all this stuff. Okay, so does that feel pretty good then? Does that seem to be a good little paint rock contest? And people will find them forever. We'll keep this up on the website through January, let's just say.
Cindy, did you say that you're filming the tree lighting?
Well, we talked about it.
I was just thinking, if you're going to film the tree lighting, one of the final things you could do for the rock hunting is for everybody that's found one up to that day, you could put them in your film. You know, you could bring their picture of them in the rock as part of your.
Or even make an announcement if you're videoing it.
Yeah, see, what we got a little pushback with that, Chris, and so that I can't answer definitively because the police chief really did not want anything that was going to cause gathering. So when we talked about having, say, a screen and showing things outside of City Hall, that didn't fly. And so it'll all have to be dependent on it showing on the city website, which that's
after you did it. So it would be like the next day.
Yeah.
See, here it is.
Yes, Chris, yes.
Those parts that, you know, the winner so far of the rock contest or whatever you want to put in there.
Well, I think whether that be a video or it would be still shots, that's a good idea, Chris, because what we want to do is let people know what's going on. We want to have shots or video coverage of the bank lights, of Kathy's lights down at the waterfront, of stores decorated. I think we should have as many photos of those. I don't know if that would be one video or just all kinds of photos of what's happening here in Port Orchard. Maybe we can be sort of a collage of things, of what's going on downtown and other places. Chris, that's a really good, yeah, we're going to need to do something along those lines. We'll talk about that. We'll find out what kind of staff availability there is. Chris, what about Pops and the Chamber? Could you guys provide for the downtown businesses and all of this stuff? Could you provide, say, photos of the stores, of whatever?
I don't see why not.
That would help us a lot.
Okay.
And Sharon has already really moved in that direction of having the royalty painting the rocks. And I know that you could probably give us some photos too of more royalty stuff. I mean, I think we should do that. And if churches are decorating, putting on light displays, let's try to get photos of this stuff. Now, how do we let people know we want that? That's the hardest part, is letting everybody know we want them to send that. Kathy, you have any suggestions? You guys can send
I'm
us.
sorry, I had to step out in the office real quick. What was that?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the gist of it is, can you guys also send us photos once you start getting your displays up?
Oh, yeah.
Anything you do, and if you end up with a boat thing, can we just get photos?
Absolutely. Absolutely, we'll do that.
Okay. And maybe what we can do is have a listing of areas, Janine, of where these things are. Maybe we can have downtown or wherever, maybe it's, if it's McCormick Woods or whatever, we can have areas
Yeah,
of what's
and I
going on.
can create a photo gallery on our website.
There we go.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? A gallery?
That sounds great.
Okay, and everybody contribute towards getting anything you see that's cool into the gallery. Oh, say hi. Hi, Whiskey. Is that
That was. Oh, sorry.
It's good.
One of the things that Matt and Pops is working on is this Home for this Holiday by the Bay sort of handout thing. And in order to put it together, we're going to have to reach out to a lot of people to say, what are you doing? You know, what's going on? So he can ask, or I can ask for them to submit photos of any cool decorations at the same time. So that will
Okay.
get you that way.
Okay. When is your deadline on that, Chris?
I'm going to talk to Matt. He's been out of town, but we wanted to get it in place by the first part of November, I think. To find out what people are planning to do, thinking that might push, especially our merchants, into actually planning to do things. Before.
Mhm.
Question.
Okay, Sandy, yeah?
Okay, I have a question. Okay,
Is everything all right?
Christine,
Yes, ma'am.
what is,
Can I
okay,
call you?
what is this, Home for the Holiday? Is that what you're calling it, home?
We're working on Holiday on the Bay, which is the Pops big holiday thing.
Okay,
then
so but that's different. Is that done every year? Is that going to be confusing? Are you guys sending out information too, or are we going to be confusing the public with two different things? Help me.
Because Chimes and Lights will be part of what we're sending out to people. It's a list of everything that's happening.
Oh, gotcha. It's part of, okay. That's the overall list.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And this way, for Cindy's need for like church lights and things like that, this is a way to get the word out, is what I was.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, because I was like, wait, that's kind of confusing to me. But I see what you mean. It's the overall where you're actually getting out information of things that are going on during the season.
Where can you
Right.
cut down?
And what isn't,
And things like that.
Okay.
Don't put a name to it yet.
and another thing is,
Go ahead.
right. But we also want to let people know what isn't happening. So for instance, there's always been the Sydney Museum open house. And there's been the Log Cabin Museum. None of that's happening, right?
No, Corinne and I have been talking about the possibility of having a Santa down at the market. We just can't figure out how to do it safely. So the other,
A lot of Santas don't want to.
Bobby has an old mailbox that's been decorated for Christmas. So push comes to shove, I'm going to do some kind of like letters to Santa and let kids put their letters in the box, and we'll have some volunteers that can reply with a candy cane or something.
Right.
But
right.
That's
so
planning.
What we're going to do is have listings of things for people to see. So we'll have a listing of displays, light displays. That can be on the city website. When you're in the car and you're out driving around, what do you want to see? We can have something along those lines. We can have kind of groupings of things for people to do or see neighborhood displays. Where to drive to see the neighborhood displays. That kind of stuff. We'll see how well this goes over, you guys. I mean, we just don't know. We're doing our best, right?
Right.
Well, it's something
great.
What?
Something rather than nothing.
Yes. And we really are trying to bring some joy.
Amen.
So, but Sharon, thank you so much for taking the initiative to get that video. That is really, really cool.
Nice job.
Um,
Good job.
Well, it was really interesting because Matt was going on vacation the next morning after he filmed. So he wanted to put it off a week. And I told Helene, I said, while we're painting, I said, Matt needs to come now, not next week, now. So I said, get him on the phone if you would, please. So she got him on the phone and I said, Matt, we love you. You need to come right now. And bless his heart, he did. He popped in his car and he came over and spent 30 minutes with us filming. It was awesome.
He did a
Well,
good job.
that is
vacation the next morning.
that is really cool. And we will, or Matt can just carefully edit out the prize information. I really do think that we're saving ourselves by eliminating that.
Okay, I haven't watched it because I just got it and emailed it to Janine the minute I got it. So I'll look at it and then get with him on the phone tomorrow about it.
Okay, that's very cool. And what we'll do then is Janine and I will work on the piece that's going to go in the utility billing. You know, in the past, it looked a lot like our Chimes and Lights flyer. We'll try to have it look enough like that people are looking for information about the event. And, you know, we'll really have it clear what we're having and what we're not having. Okay. And then we're going to need, the most important thing of all, I think, is the city website link to these various things, because really that website is key for this communication. And then POPSA and the chamber will be doing their deal, and we'll make sure that we're all on the same page with that, so that information is going forward. We'll contact our extensive list of volunteers too, the people that always volunteered, to tell them about possibilities for doing something this year. All the churches, all of these volunteer groups from churches that did all the treats and things for us, we'll tell them about if they're going to do a lighting display to get photos in, and if they want people driving by, you know, we'll get that on the website, that kind of thing. And you know what? That and some music coming out of City Hall, I think it'll still be very festive, but let's see how many rocks we can get, because I think this is going to be fun. Yeah. You know, I really do. Yeah?
Maureen says to remind you to make sure that you've got it all over your Facebook page as well, because more people will see it there than will go to your website.
Gotcha. Yeah. And Janine's, you know, our Facebook queen, so she'll keep that up and going and keep that interesting. And, you know, it'd be fun if people kind of start competing to get their photos on there with their rocks. And so this next 2 weeks, we'll work on contacting the groups about getting involved with the rock painting and hiding. And we're still working on getting all the trees adopted. So,
and sorry.
I'm sorry. How are you going to push out the trees?
The same way we did last year, I think. We've got 17 sold now. I was kind of waiting till after school got started and everybody figured all that stuff out. I would say probably right after the beginning of October, we'll really start moving like crazy, because school should be sorted by then. I just did not want to run into all that. School's not easy for people this year. It's just not easy. I'm hearing lots of stories. So, and then, like I said, the big deadline for advertising is that utility flyer, which goes to every household. Yeah. So I think that's huge. That's really huge. So we'll have that ready to go and get that out. These ideas are amazing. It really helped us so much. Public Works, we've made a list of pretty much what they're going to do. They're still going to be putting up the tree and the trees. And that the 7th through the 24th decorating on all fronts. So everybody will be busy those several weeks getting those rocks hidden and getting those trees decorated downtown. And I know the city's going to do a really good job of decorating. Bill Thiel in Public Works assured me that this would be the best year ever. So Bill, you're going to have to watch this. always a wonder. I think that's really mostly it. Chris, you'll keep us posted, and Kareen too. If we need any kind of connect with POPSA and the chamber, would you let us know? So we can make sure that all of this is going out to everybody? Okay. And
anything that you want us
so the
just
2
make
weeks, you guys? What? Chris, you got?
anything that you want us to push out, just make sure that we see it. So if Janine, if you're putting stuff on Facebook, let us know that you are, and we'll resend it on all of our pages.
Perfect. Okay. Yep. We'll do.
Okay. For next meeting, guys, how does Monday the 5th look? Can you do it?
It's all good for us at the city.
Okay. So by then we'll have the graphics done for our little flyer, and we'll really get going with promoting the trees and the rocks.
And I'll start adding stuff to the website, you know, just basic information, and start to get the format and the menus up there. So by our next meeting in 2 weeks, there should be some stuff up there.
Okay, and I actually did come up with another little flyer thing too that has just basic information in it. So all good. Hello.
That's
Hello.
my hubby.
Hi, hubby.
This
I
is
saw
Ray.
that she. Hi, Ray. I saw that Sandy was in the man cave. It said in the background there.
He's in the man cave. Yeah.
He's in your cave. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us borrow her.
Absolutely.
She's fun. So.
Oh yeah.
October 5th, Monday, 3:30. We're going to have all kinds of practical things going on then. We'll have our little sheets with the information with guidelines for the contest. You know what we didn't talk about? The pet thing.
No.
The costume thing for pets.
Pooch and Purr, a different costume thing.
Can it be virtual? Could they do a virtual pet contest?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, because obviously you can't do one in real life.
You know what?
Why couldn't it be a photo contest?
Yeah, that's what it is, kind of.
Send your photos in, and then a judging of the photos and an announcement of the winner.
You know what? We'll talk to Woodside again. Can you remind me the name of that lady? Jordan, yeah. Jordan wanted to do something still this year. Maybe she can manage that.
Yeah, do you want me to get a hold of her? I've been kind of communicating with her, giving her updates about the meetings, so I can get a hold of her tomorrow.
Let's have her be in charge of that. That took care of that. Perfect. Oh, good. Well, she wanted to. Oh, wonderful. All right, everyone, off we go.
Thank you.
Sandy,
All right.
thank you. Sandy, you'll let people know too about the churches, some of the church stuff and decorating, and everybody who's got connects, just let them know what we're kind of after, and then we'll have specific advertising information in about 2 weeks or so.
I'll put that on my Facebook page, because a lot of my friends from the different churches in the community look on there. So, you know.
Okay.
Let's see if paint rocks and and light up the churches, hey?
Yes. And
we want some really nice displays. I was just over at Lowe's today, you guys. They've got some really fun lights. So get everybody out buying lights. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Nice seeing everybody.
Sharon, I'll see you later on Ways and Means.